You know, for me, a sign of a good game is when you're playing it and you have to go to bed, for example, you think, just one more thing, I just do this quest, but then hours have passed and you still have this one more thing to do. I had this feeling in games like Elden Ring, games like Factorio, or even Path of Exile 2, and I can tell you this is exactly the feeling that I'm getting when I'm playing No Rest for the Wicked. Another sign for me of a truly addictive game is when you're thinking about it while you're not playing it. When you're not playing it, you have to do the work, but you're still thinking about the build that you can make, about the location that you want to go, about something that you want to craft. You look up some build planners, skills and stuff like that, and you just cannot wait when you will be able to implement it in a game. You know, with the new update, a lot of people are playing it, big streamers are playing it, and guys, your response for my latest video was amazing, and I really appreciate it. And you have the same feelings as me about this game, and this really makes me happy. This is why I have this channel, to share my experience about something that I like and see that I'm not the only one here. But I did not clarify that I bought this game right at the beginning of early access, but I didn't have a powerful PC at that moment and I didn't really want to play it on my Steam Deck also, so I kinda stopped. But now I can experience it fully. And in this video I want to talk about what makes No Rest for the Wicked addictive and what are the traits of addictive games. Let me just start with the obvious, but I think with the most rare things that can make a game addictive. In the case of No Rest for the Wicked, it's the world. It is how it looks, it is how it feels, how you can traverse through it, how many hidden paths and secrets does it have, and just basically how beautiful does it look. You know, it's rare when you want to play a game just because of its world and how it looks. For me, one of the most obvious examples, except of No Rest for the Wicked, was Elden Ring. Some people were complaining that Elden Ring's world is too big. There are many empty spaces and such and such. In my opinion, they have a reason to understand the whole scale of the lands between. And the fact that you can go anywhere, you never know where you will find a secret hidden dungeon somewhere in the mountain. That created a desire to just do one more thing. Just go and see what's around that corner, what's there. Just go and check that place. And especially the first time you play it, you never know whether you will find something or you won't. And this creates some sort of a gambling addiction that you always gamble if you will find something. And this is a very good way to incentivize people to want to spend more time in the world of the game. In No Rest for the Wicked, it's the same feeling. The world feels like it's a very, very big scale, but the locations are like so packed and so dense. There are no empty areas which are like pointless. After you've been to the area once, twice, 3 times, you still can find some secrets out there. You still can find shortcuts. Considering the fact that the areas that we have right now are only 30% of the game, this will be a lot. This is just about secrets. Now, you know, there are games that like the vibes are giving you this feeling that you want to just turn on this game and like have it on your screen while you are doing something else. Now, the second thing that unexpectedly made me spend so much time on this game is the base building or the town building, the upgrades. When I recorded a lot of hours of recordings, when I rewatched it, I realized how many hours were not like in combat. How many hours did I spend in the town buying items, crafting items, upgrading and doing stuff in town. For now, this system, it's pretty raw. It's just fundamentals in my opinion. It has so many things that it can add to the base building, but these fundamentals, they already create this desire to engage in those mechanics. Because for example, making your house better is not incentivized for now, but I think it should be, and maybe it will be. Maybe you will get more buffs after sleeping if your house is decorated somehow. And there should be a system that will count like how good your house is decorated, how much money did you spend on it, or maybe your like materials will be crafted faster or something like that. For me personally, because I'm a fan of automation games and Factorio specifically, if I could make some sort of automation, something to do with the resources or refining something, crafting something, that would be just insane. Right now it just gives these Animal Crossing vibes. This system already is pretty fun, but I think this can be even more, much more. But this was just my observation after rewatching the recordings and realizing how many hours I spent there, and these were not some boring hours. This was not something that made me bored. Comparing, for example, to chopping trees or looking for iron ores. While I'm talking about this topic, I will say that personally I didn't like that the developers removed the timer when you're upgrading your town. They made so you have to find more materials. First of all, finding more materials is the most tedious stuff. It's not the most interesting stuff. And removing the timer makes the upgrade less valuable for me personally. Because when I put in some resources and then I have to wait, if I could wait like until the next day, if this was like I have to wait 24 hours of real time for my town to build, I would feel even more happy. Honestly, that just makes this upgrade much more important and more meaningful and incentivizes you to come back tomorrow. Because when you're removing that, it's basically incentivizing you to just grind for the whole day, chopping wood, mining ores, trying to upgrade everything to level 3 right away, and upgrading all the merchants to level 3 when you are on the Nameless Pass, which is like the second location where you get. I don't think that's the best progression that we should have. Now, these are just my opinions. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree, whether you like this change or not. Now, the next thing that makes this game kind of addictive, it's the combat, in my opinion. We already know that Souls-like combat is the formula that works. So many games are using it, like it's basically became a standard on how third-person adventure game works. This is not a third-person adventure game, this is ARPG with a Souls-like combat, which is so much better than just point and click like in other ARPGs, you know? When you combine all the build crafting with this kind of combat, it creates this challenge to persist if you meet some hard enemy and you try to fight it again and again and learn its patterns and try to parry it, basically get good, and when you finally defeat that enemy, you have that feeling like in the Souls games, when you finally overcame the obstacle and you won. And that's an amazing feeling that it's not just your build got better, you got better. As we already know, people do enjoy this feeling of trying to kill a boss over and over again and then basically having a perfect run where you finally did it after 10, 20 tries. No Rest for the Wicked can deliver this feeling for you, but with the punishment that you get from losing, in terms of losing durability, you cannot just freely do the boss again and again and again, and every loss has its consequences. Of course, you can equip a rune that repairs your weapons, and when you died too many times and you have to repair your weapons, you just go and chop some wood and then you use the rune. I guess that's the strat. And my last point will probably be basic stuff from all the ARPGs. It's the build planning and build crafting. Now, I think this is something that this game can really improve. As I said in my previous video, when I find an item, I don't really know if it's good or not. Maybe they should do some sort of tiers explanation like we have in Path of Exile 2, right? When you can press a button and you can see what is the tier of this specific enchantment. If the plus 15 stamina regen a lot, or we will be able to have plus 25, plus 30, or some explanation that while you're on level 15 you will not be able to get stamina regen enchantment more than 15% or something something like that. The build crafting in No Rest for the Wicked is really dependent on the move set, on the weapon that you want to pick. And I mean not the weapon class, but the weapon. One freaking weapon. Each weapon has a different moveset, and that opens so many things. And you know, very complex games are the most addicting when you really get into those. Like Path of Exile 2 with its passive skill tree. When you don't get it, it's insane. You don't want to deal with it. But when you kind of start to know what is happening out there, it's just very fun to basically sit down and think like, what's the path that you should choose. Same with Factorio. When you don't understand how everything works, it's a struggle. But when you realize how you can scale everything, when you realize how you can automate basically everything, and you keep on thinking about this what makes this game addictive. When you're thinking about the game outside from playing it, the weapons that you should try, maybe thinking about some infusions that you should try this infusion with that weapon and see how fast will it stack and stuff like that, that's also a sign that it's a good game. So these are just my thoughts on why No Rest for the Wicked feels addictive. You can let me know in the comments down below if everything that I just said doesn't make any sense, but personally it's on my mind for a couple of weeks already, and that's why I will probably make a couple of more videos about it. I will be just making videos about the games that I enjoy, and right now I really enjoy No Rest for the Wicked. If you have a desire to do so, you can like this video, you can subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.